To conclude with, now that we are on counties, page 19 of the Standard has a story. There are counties on the spot as wage bill increases, because that's another area that has been of concern, where a good chunk of the money, instead of going into development, goes into paying recurrent expenses. One of those, of course, being wage bills and allowances. Honorable Kosing, how do we resolve this? As a member of parliament, this is something that has... We cannot stick and say that devolution is new anymore.
No, we can't sit pretty. The way to deal with this is, in my view, what CRC is proposing. That rather than using what Weda, my good friend Weda, now is in a very serious committee. And I was asking him whether, no, but that's for another day. He's in a very serious committee of sacking people. So that's not a good committee. I would wish to be back. But what I'm trying to say is, if you look at this, in my view, what CRC is proposing to say, let us send money to counties using activities, not population, not primarily so much of population, the geographical area, but what service? Because it is true. When you devolve services, and therefore money should follow what? Services. And therefore these people are now saying, no, let's change this way. So how much is cost of health? So they are going to put money in health. They are also going now to check this wage bill. Governors, in my view, can never control wage bill in counties. You know why? Because most people, when you're doing politics, when you're going around to ask for votes, you know, to become a governor, most people will be telling you, you know, I want to become a CC, I want to become chief officer, and you promise almost everybody. You promise whether you're going to be CC, Mike, you're going to be CC, Kosing, you're going to be CC, and then there's only one position for CC. So when you give Mike CC, you give him a chief officer, you create a lot of bloated wage bill. So what happens in my suggestion? The CRC, the Commission for Revenue Allocation should stand on their feet and say, we are giving money for a service. And we're giving this is a match that will be sufficient for administration of service. That is to pay people. Finish. So if you don't have that money to pay those people, you actually sack them. Then you remain with a proper staff that will be able to use the money to implement the activities. Then we'll have health. But if you are to do the way we are doing now, what is it? It's a blank check, Mike. You know that.
So in short, can we say that our governors are incompetent in terms of management?
Not really competent. They are fortunate. They have been given a blank check to do what they want. It's true. When you send money, one line item, you know budgets. You know budgets. I used to work in government before I became an MP. You know, when you are doing a budget, you do it in an itemized budget. In other words, if it's a road, you write a road, or it's a service, you write a service. But the money we are giving to counties through division of revenue bill, particularly in the first election, what was happening? One line item. How much is going to Pokot? 5 billion. How much is going to Nairobi? 12 billion. And then you tell governor with your MCAs, sit down and segregate the money. That is a blank check.
That is a blank check.
I think I had said here, and I repeat, that Kenya is a salary nation. When you see people resign from the private sector to join government, not because they want to serve so much, but because government pays more. There is big salary, and then there's also tips, and then there's also allowances, entry into the corruption industry. There are possibilities, there are opportunities that you'll enter into that industry and make your billions quickly. Otherwise, it's also the industry, public service, where before you are elected member of parliament or MCA, you can hardly afford border on a regular basis. Sometimes, mostly you walk, and then occasionally you hire border. But immediately you are elected, 2 weeks, you're already calling Toyota. Do you have V10?
Not true.
V8. And you're already having a chopper, and you are ordering the second one. Only in government. That's why
in now
everything goes into salary. It is theft and high salaries. I do not see why Honorable Kosing here should earn $1 million for, and we have given the honor a big name. A member of parliament should earn about 300,000. An MCA, 100,000. A doctor, $500,000. This one where the MCA and the MP earns more than a surgeon. You know,
Who has trained for
I'm
years
telling
and
you,
years and years.
they earn more than a professor who teaches the surgeon. When you want to know that the devil is fat, then look at the salary bill. Then you know he's very fat.
All right.
Mike,
and I'll need you to wind up because we need to take a break. Yes, sir.
But Mike, in Parliament, we normally say point of order when somebody is actually straying. And I found where straying by saying that when a parliamentarian is elected, you call to Kenya. No, you know, you are given money to buy the car. Mike, let me ask you. Let me ask you whether. Yes. No, but let me ask whether. Yes. For you to travel to West Pokot, where I come from, how do you travel?
The way you used to travel.
What do you mean by the way
you used to travel? Are you supposed?
You must be serviced to service people. No. You must be serviced to service people. Number two, that if you, how many MPs
But you do know, Mheshimiwa, that you can get to your constituency in a V8. You can also get to your constituency in a VW.
Yes.
You can also get to your constituency in a Probox.
Yes.
You still get there either
absolutely.
Way. Yes.
You need a form of a car, that's what I'm saying. But not what is, you know,
the members of parliament, we have all of them will have very huge cars. And what he's saying, you see, it's purely an example of the fact that once one gets into parliament, there is a sudden change of lifestyle which cannot be accounted for by just the salary.
No. Of course it can be. No. Let me tell you. And that is a wrong impression. Let me tell you. And the problem why people are having those wrong impressions is that they want to chase us. Even when they want to chase us,
food, because
somebody is sitting somewhere looking for my job. Even whether he's looking somewhere to maybe become a governor or an MP or a senator somewhere. So that is why they make our jobs to look very bad. What do you mean? I can't get a loan and buy a car?
You can get a loan, but we're talking about lifestyle. You'll find that majority of the people who come in, and we're not saying about you, saying as an individual, but you'll agree with me that majority of the politicians who come into politics, within no time, they have a house in Runda, another one in
I will explain.
Upcountry, another one. But for now, I don't want us to get into that. I want us to take a short break.
We have the facility.
And I want to hand over to Tricks. Then we'll come back with our topic of the day.
I deserve Article 1 of the Constitution.